the talking point, youth in angling.
Yes.
How are we going to encourage more youngsters to get into the sport? It's a bit of a topic. There's a decline in the amount of youngsters getting in and starting fishing. What are your thoughts on this?
It's not really like there's no set answer, is there? Because it's such a big issue. But I think there's lots of things you can do. I think one thing that would be quite good is like schools. I think there's already stuff doing with that, but I think that's quite a good big thing to do because I think a lot of people don't really understand it, but once they go, I think they get into it.
Yeah, so there's So the schools obviously they'll shoehorn them towards football and rugby and the sort of mainstream sports, but there are schools that but it always seems to be like the naughty kids.
Yeah, I know.
They take the naughty kids fishing.
What's that indoor? That fish? No, is it Fish Northwest? That indoor fishery.
Yeah, it's like for people who
it's mega for what it is, but yeah, as you say, it's all the ones that are like misbehaving and all this. And to be fair, it's mega for what it does.
Yeah. Great idea.
I think it makes it hard work, doesn't it? Schools like almost shit themselves where it's like we're taking them out of the classroom and putting them next to water. There's how much paperwork are we going to have to fill in for that?
Yeah, the well-behaved kids wouldn't even. They'd be happily getting on with it. Whereas the naughty kids want to push their mate in.
I think like if my mates had been, if someone had took if it was compulsory, the whole class went fishing once a month or something. Everyone would understand it. They'd go more. Everyone would want to be more into it. I think that's probably a big thing,
you're never going to get everyone. So if it was a class of 30 people, at the moment, those 30 people aren't going fishing.
No.
If it was a class of 30 people, you might get 2 people. You might get 5 people.
That start going regular.
It might only be a small percentage.
Yeah.
But if every class of 30, so in a primary school, that would be 6 classes. Say it was 5 people, that's another 30 anglers. Well, how many schools are there? There's 1,000 schools.
Yeah,
so then you start looking, it's 30,000 kids getting into fishing, and it would just be a roll-on effect. I think that's a great idea.
It's almost you're at that hard point now of it's not kind of a normal thing for kids to get into now. I think we probably caught the back end of it where like you'd see people fishing and like
sort of just give it a go.
Yeah, you kind of just tried it out and. But now it seems unless there's a kind of like obviously with yourself just happening to find a lure.
You're like
it's something that triggers it.
Yeah,
and you've like badgered your dad almost to do it.
You picked that up and were curious. Most kids would have just volleyed it down the street, wouldn't they? Kicked it down a grid or like crushed it or done something. Not what like you were curious with it. I think in terms of like generations, like there's going to come to a generation where your granddads weren't an angler, your dads weren't an angler, and so that's where it'll get worse and worse. There'll be less, because nobody's gonna take you or encourage you to go in the family. Obviously, if your schools aren't encouraging you, your family's not, because your granddad, like for example, my granddad fished. My dad fished when he was young. When I got back into fishing, both of them got into fishing again.
Yeah,
it's like
my
a
dad
knock-on
fishes
effect,
his matches. My granddad goes fishing. It's a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's going to be generations where that's not the case. And, unless
I think
schools and education and people, if they're not seeing it, nobody's going to do it.
I think there's sort of different levels to it, isn't there? There's like the very beginners where they haven't picked up a rod before. There's that sort of side of getting kids into it. And then there's sort of like when you're older, like my sort of age sort of thing, or like Match Academy. Guru Match Academy is a perfect example. Like it's getting you that next step. It's getting you that help that's going to push you, getting you from having 2 top kits or like no feeders to having like enough feeders for a match, and getting you more into it, and it'll just keep you going. Like,
but it's getting that people coming into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the stumbling point at the moment.
Yeah. But setting up initiatives like that.
Yeah, it's great. That's probably like the Guru's just like for kids. It's just unbelievable, isn't it?
But I think at the moment there seems to be very much everyone knows it's a problem, but no one's actually doing a lot. But if, as a collective, if everyone who went fishing introduced 2 people to fishing, it's like the number.
I should probably take my mates fishing.
But it's the same with everything now, that everyone's guilty of it.
Yeah.
It's easy to sit and moan about something, as we're doing now, but to actually get
Go
off your
about
arse and do it.
That's the difficult part,
and
isn't
it's like, but you see so much of it where people bring it up. You even get responses like, especially older boys, are like, I don't want more people on the bank.
What? Yeah.
They're like,
they'll take my spots, especially in carp angling.
I don't want kids round us being noisy. I want to be in the peace and quiet. But that's the sort of mentality you're fighting against as well. So I think although angling as a whole is big, it's so divided that's where your kind of issues are. If everyone was pulling in the same direction, which is probably where you need a decent angling body that brings everyone together, but at the moment there's nothing out there that's doing it effectively. Like there's various things that have been set up, be it the angling trust or whatever.
Get hooked on fishing. They're trying to do it at various events and trying, but they're in the grand scheme of things, it's so small.
Yeah.
If they were massive, brilliant. They're trying to do it, but you just get the impression that they're trying, but they're just not getting the support to make it.
It's expensive,
really
isn't it? Like to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they all have to have loads of insurances.
And they're not. Yeah.
There's probably so much red tape involved. Well, and I know there is. I know a couple of people who've done coaching for clubs and stuff, and even before thinking about it, you've got to pay for a CRB check at the very least, and have kind of you've got to have a level 2 qualified coach there, and if you've got to do certain amount of level 1s per.
There's so many barriers.
It's like, and I think you look at so many things like it's just a red tape that's kind of stopping it. That the government is. Oh, this is getting controversial. The government. But, no, there's like so much red tape involved that.
Let's not mention Boris.
Yeah, straight onto Boris.
But there's so much red tape to actually get past that it makes it, even if you want to do it officially, it's blooming hard work, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't know what. I don't have an answer. I can sit and moan.
I think it's because it's like, I mean, another thing is like getting. A lot of people live. Well, if my parents hadn't been willing to drive me an hour, 2 hours all the time, then I wouldn't be anywhere really. I might be still like a pleasure angler or something.
Yeah.
Because the matches to go to where I am, but I don't know if some kids maybe. If the parents haven't got the money to pay 60, 70 quid on a weekend to get you there, it's hard to get your parents to get you to fishing, isn't it?
Bring back the coach trips. That was it with clubs, wasn't it?
Was it?
Everyone, back in
I remember
the day.
There used to be a big coach come here when I used to come here sometimes. There's a big coach come.
Yeah, they'd all sort of put money into a pot, chip in for a coach, and they'd all shove their tackle into a coach. But these days there's that much fishing tackle.
Oh yeah, you get like two people.
That massive compartment under the coach would just be full. But it's things like that. If you had 2 little local lakes near you, if there was a body that would say, obviously the Angling Trust, they do fund different initiatives. But if they were just sort of saying to them fisheries, look, here's some funds, we're going to send a school down with a load of kids.
Yeah. I think, that's it. You either need to do it like that, you kind of push them to experience it, whether they choose or enjoy it or not.
But you take that chance, don't you?
Yeah, it's basically either that or it's a marketing campaign, effectively. Because I think fishing is still, if you're going to go fishing, it's kind of almost your interest, like, even as a kid, you're around water, you're kind of looking into it, there's that underlying interest there, that it's just giving them either the exposure to it so they go and badger their parents to take them, or kind of pushing them there to give it a go.
It's that once you're hooked, it's like that hook, once you're hooked, aren't you? It's like that. I think for a lot of people, you get a bit of a buzz. Some people, I suppose, it doesn't really work the same, but
yeah, if you're not going to, like, no matter what you do, some people are never going to go fishing. You're not suddenly going to make everyone have an interest in it, but yeah, it's almost getting people so they can experience it, whether it is doing the big open days like they do on the canal. I think Angling Trust do them on the canals in various places where.
Yeah, so there was that junior match last year that the Angling Trust ran, wasn't there?
How did you get on it?
I think that was a massive success. I think it was. I think it was really good.
Right, that's good.
Yeah, so things like that, more of them. Whether there is a youth schools national and stuff like that, and just creating events.
People doing favours for kids as well. Like when I was younger, they'd give me. Well, you're not allowed to be on the bank when you're home until you're like 16 or something. But Chris at Cock Lakes, where I go, he used to let me go when I was like 13 on my own, like. And it just because if you know them so well, it's about because otherwise I wouldn't be able to go as much, and like it might have got the bad when I just couldn't go, and then you just stop going and stuff. But if you have people to help you out and people to take you about, some people if you join a club, like a big thing for youngsters is don't be scared to go and fish against club anglers or even open matches, because if you fish against someone a lot better than you, then you're always gonna learn more. Because even if you've spent, you're gonna lose money at the start, obviously, because you're not gonna win much. But when the amount you'll gain.
But even there's a lot of clubs that would let a youngster go, not enter the pools, but be fishing with them, and just be fishing, just be in that environment, and have that buzz, catch them. Like they'll all show you the way.
I remember buying my first keep net. Now you said that, it's just like the first match I fished was like an evening match, and I think I caught like one carp or something, and he was like, I had this little tiny net, and it was like silvers. It said silverfish only. I think it was a midi one or something. And I was like, can I use it? He's like, no, you got to have one for carp. I was like, oh. So I had to get my money, and I was like, 30 quid or something.
What a myth that is. I know. You get trying to have a silver.
I know. So I got this Preston one. I think I've literally only just got rid of it like a month ago or something. And I just bought that, and I remember just having that for ages. I just remember getting my money and buying this little keep net and having the match. I don't think I did any good. It was a little Thursday night match. Yeah. But no.
Just finding a way where you'll stick in it.
Innit? Yeah. But keep people encourage you to go, and everyone looks after you, and they're usually anyway as well.
Yeah, like things like the Guru Match Academy obviously is great. If there was more of that going on, and more of the initial people getting people into fishing in the first place, get hooked on fishing, that sort of thing.
That's it. It's that level that's the issue. Because I think you look at the Guru Academy and the vet. Like, was it Dynamite Baits ran one as well? And there's quite a few of the same names doing both, which kind of seems that it's quite a small circle of anglers that it's pulling in from.
Yeah, you're probably right. Like, at my sort of, like, 14 to like 18, there isn't that many that compete in, like, open matches and stuff. There is obviously a number that, I don't know everyone, but, like, you always see the same faces on, like, the national and, like, junior events and stuff. But, like, it was quite promising when you looked at the amount of kids that went to the national this year. There was quite a few. Like, obviously, I don't think it was as big as when you boys fished it.
Yeah, see, when I fished it used to be 300, 500.
It was nowhere near that, but there might be, like, 70 or 80 kids and stuff, which is good.
Do they still do one on, is your national, do they do a canal one and stuff?
No, I think they do, like, a canal match. Like, Angling Trust might run one, but there's... No, there's just that one at Makins this year. I think it's at Packington next year.
Right.
So,
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so different initiatives needs to be more of them.
Yeah.
It's difficult to put your finger on, isn't it?
Yeah, we didn't really we didn't fix that one.
I don't think there is.
It's not a quick fix.
It isn't a quick fix.
No. It's a slowly introducing
introducing
more and more.
Introduce more young anglers into fishing, like by schools or like...
It's not going to be one thing that solves it, is it? It's going to be lots
fisheries
of little...
You could do like fisheries that would have an advertised thing that was like, you can, for juniors, you can fish the matches, but you don't have to go in the pools, but we'll let you fish. Like fisheries could like say to juniors, it's going to cost you a day ticket. You're not in the pools, but you can fish with keep nets in the match. Because I used to like fishing with keep nets because you get to see what you caught at the end, and that was a nice thing. But when you've got to pay your 25 quid. It's a lot of money for a junior, but if you can go for your £5, then it's happy days.
And then see what you've got.
Exactly, And I think that, and then they get the taste for it, and then keeps you going and get you competitive. I think that's probably a good thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, so we've not fixed it, but there's probably loads of people with loads of ideas.
If everyone watching this got one person into fishing,
someone try, please.
You'll love that. So obviously, just if you've got ideas, let us know. Hopefully, there's someone.
Don't let us know, because that's just moan about it. Actually do something.
Yeah. Well, no, but what I'm saying is hopefully there's someone reading, or we can put them up that can do something about it. Obviously we can do our bit, but not as much as some people.
Yeah.